What I need before I can do anything is an intention and obstacle, okay? Somebody wants something, something's standing in their way of getting it. They want the money, they want the girl, they want to get to Philadelphia, it doesn't matter. But they've got to really want it bad, and whatever is standing in their way has got to be formidable. I need those things, and I need them to be really solid, or else I will slip into my old habit back when I was 21 with the electric typewriter of just writing snappy dialogue that doesn't add up to anything. We won't be moving forward. So let's say, for instance, that you and a friend, you and a couple of friends, one summer or after you graduated from college, you drove cross country, okay? And on that trip, some weird and cool stuff happened, and you think this is going to be a good screenplay. You want to write a screenplay inspired by this cross-country trip that you took with your friends. You're great. I want to hear your stories. I'll bet they're good. But you can't start yet because you don't have an intention, an obstacle. So let me give you one. It's not like we haven't seen this before, but just as an example. It can't just be a leisurely drive across country. Somebody in that car you're going from New York to Los Angeles. Somebody in that car has to be in Los Angeles at a certain time, on a certain day, 6 days from now. It's super important. It's a job interview. It's their friend's wedding. It's something. They have to be in Los Angeles. Things are stopping them from getting there. They had a whole plan. We're going to take this route and that route. We're going to do this, and we're going to get there with plenty of time. But there are now going to have to be flat tires along the way, and weather, and getting lost, and anything else you can throw at it. Once you have that intention and obstacle, now, like a clothesline, you can start hanging those cool stories from the real trip across the country. That was the reason you wanted to do this whole thing in the first place. You have to build the drive shaft first, and that drive shaft can only be intention and obstacle. That's what creates friction and tension, and that's what drama is. If you don't have that, then it's journalism. How do you know if the intention is strong enough? How do you know if the obstacle is formidable enough? You do what's called pressing on it. You press on it. The intention. If the intention is, okay, we're driving from New York to LA because we've got some friends in LA that we want to see. Well, that doesn't seem very urgent. It doesn't seem like you have to be there on Tuesday. You can see your friends on Wednesday. You're driving to LA because you've always wanted to see the Dodgers play in Dodger Stadium. Again, if I'm sitting in the audience, I'm not going to be on the edge of my seat going, come on, you can make it to Dodger Stadium, because I've been to Dodger Stadium and it's no big deal. Same thing with the obstacle. How many times have you gone to the movies and turned to your friend, or you're walking out of the theater and said, why didn't he just pick up the phone and call and do this? Why didn't they just walk out the back door? Why didn't he just offer him $20? If there are ways, if that obstacle isn't formidable, if there are ways to get out of it easily, you need to plug those things up. Let me just take the last example. If $20 will do the trick, then great. I've got $20 that I want to give you. Well, there's no money in my wallet. Okay, I promise, wait right here. I'm going to go to the ATM. I'll give you my watch as collateral. Now we've got a story going. I can't think of a situation where I'd say, God, that intention is too strong and that obstacle is too formidable. It seems to me like you're describing a great story. It's not required that your protagonist, that your hero, overcome the obstacle. They don't have to win. They just have to try. how do you show a character's intention? Well, the easiest way is to have the character say, I want, or I need, and then follow it with what the intention is. Make it clear why that's important. We were talking about you got to press on it and make sure your intention is strong. Press on the obstacle, make sure that's formidable. Well, have a scene where you run through all those things. Why do you have to be there on Thursday? Can't you be there on Friday? No, because of this. You can listen. You can start out by in scene one stating the intention and an obstacle. Nothing wrong with that, and it'll be very clear. We've got to storm the castle and rescue the princess. But to do that, we've got to get across the moat that has crocodiles in it. We've got to get past 150 armed guards. And then she's locked in the tower, and we've got to figure out how to undo that lock. And you can apply that to, robbing a casino in Vegas. They've got the greatest security system in the world. No one's ever been able to break into it. There's your obstacle. Or you can start out in scene one simply stating the intention and have your protagonist, or there could be several protagonists, think that it's going to be smooth sailing until they get to the moat and realize the whole place is surrounded by a moat and there are alligators in there. Well, we didn't see that. Okay, we got to cross the moat. Now it's going to be smooth sailing. No, because the 150 armed guards, you can have them continually confront obstacles. It's not until you introduce the intention that you've really begun the story, and it's not until you then introduce the obstacle that the conflict has begun. We're going from journalism to drama now. That there's some kind of conflict. In terms of how much time will the audience give you before you've got to show what your cards are, show what the intention is, show what the obstacle is. It really has to do with the audience's relationship to what they're seeing. People have walked out of plays before, but it's a hard thing to do because you spent a lot of money, you left your house, maybe you got a babysitter, you went out to dinner, you're on a date. Those tickets are expensive. Leaving a play is a hard thing to do. So we know we've got you for a little bit, and we can go at a slightly slower speed at the beginning. Leaving a movie is easier. Yes, you left your house. Yes, it cost you money, but it's a little bit easier to walk out of a movie. The easiest thing that there is to change the channel on a TV show. A network particularly would encourage you to, whatever you're going to do, please do it in the first 2 minutes. Can you make something blow up in the first 2 minutes? Can you put somebody in jeopardy in the first 2 minutes? That kind of thing. And with a movie, it's somewhere in between. The writer William Goldman, he won Oscars for Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and All the President's Men, and he wrote The Princess Bride and Marathon Man and a ton of other great screenplays. He taught me everything I know and about a tenth of what he knows. So let's look at Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid for a second. His second movie and his first Oscar. What we get is about 15, 20 minutes of introduction to who Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid are. They're the leaders of the Hole in the Wall gang, and everything is great. They own the Wild West, basically. He's the best shot in the West. Butch is the most charming outlaw that there is, and they like robbing trains. And it always goes well every time they rob a train. They get to make jokes, they make a lot of money, and then they go back to their hideaway. Until this one time, and suddenly another train comes along with the posse, the super posse, that's out to get them. And then the intention and the obstacle become very clear. We don't want to get caught and sent to jail for the rest of our lives. That's the intention. The obstacle is these guys won't stop chasing us. They're going to chase us all the way to Bolivia. This is really hard.